biggest question for us today, right now, is should this, or now with the decision of Joe Douglas being let go as GM, will this be the final season for Aaron Rodgers? What's really left for them and this team is an important question. You could see in Aaron Rodgers' post game interviews and his news conferences right now, he comes off as quiet, defeated, a defeated traveler trapped along this journey, being dragged along by his wrist and being like, come on, you got to keep quarterbacking this team, Aaron. You got to keep doing it. I know you can't move and you got arthritis in both your legs. You got to keep going, bro. He constantly,
Come on, grandpa.
come on, grandpa. He constantly reaches out for explanations like energy rather than talent or tactics or schemes. And when he's describing on what's gone wrong, as he's done this twice now when facing defeat, he described the Jets as flat when taking a beating 37-15 from the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then he said that the next game after that, against the Patriots, was a get right game. And they ended up losing that one 25-22, which looks like one of the most embarrassing losses for Aaron Rodgers' start for the New York Jets. And it's only this season because last season's all gone. Fired head coach Robert Saleh has no part in any of that. Neither does the demoted offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett, who is not good. I'm not defending him. Fuck that guy. Mike Williams, did he have a part in any of those losses? Nope. He's in Pittsburgh he caught his first touchdown score of the season, not this past week, but the week before that from Russell Wilson in his very first game with them. At the end of the day, it's Rodgers' is this team. Devontae Adams got acquired. He's caught 6 balls for 31 yards, completed 1 passes, over 10 air yards to Devontae Adams. It does not look good. And he now has 34 games starting without a 300-yard passing performance. And now we're looking at cap space. We're looking at what to do with him. $49 million in dead salary cap space for Rodgers in 2025. Joe Douglas, the GM, as I said, firing of today, all signs point towards a full rehaul and a full rebuild. And with that, that means a lot of the established veterans on this team or the new veterans on this team are probably out the door. I mean, we're talking about Tyron Smith, Morgan Moses, Hassan Reddick, a couple guys who've been acquired over the offseason, either not being brought back from one-year contracts or being let go. That's probably the most likely option, it seems like. Now, the other option is continue to play out the contract, continue to play out next year. Drew, how do you see Aaron Rodgers and his journey going for the rest of this season into next season? Is there a next season for Aaron Rodgers? Is this it? Is this curtain closed after this? And this is the kind of, it's like gas running out of your car and it just stuttering and puttering along. That's what it feels like for Aaron. What's going on?
Do you know how old Aaron Rodgers is?
400, roughly?
He's 40. Do you know at the age of 44, Tom Brady threw for 5,300 yards and 43 touchdowns the year after he won a Super Bowl for Tampa Bay?
So fucking stupid. It's ridiculous.
I am old enough to remember the Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady
Mhm,
argument on who was the better quarterback. I am old enough to remember banging the table for Joe Montana as the greatest quarterback of all time, even though I never watched him play one snap of
mhm.
football. Here's the thing with Aaron. I am going to take off the table the idea that he might not want to play again next
'Kay.
year. I don't know that for certain, so I'm not going to go into the idea of that. But Aaron Rodgers is on pace to throw for 3,700 yards, 26 touchdowns, and a completion percentage of 64%. That 3,700 yards will be 4th most in New York Jets history. That's going to be the most passing yards for that team since 2015. Okay. Those 26 touchdowns are going to be 3rd most in New York Jets history, and it's going to be the most since 2015. Now, that 2015 season was going to be Mr.
Yes,
Fitzmagic,
right.
and obviously other players on that list are going to be Joe Namath. So, not a ton of super great
What?
talent
No,
in the New York Jets
no butt
organization. No
fumbler?
Sam
No
Darnold.
butt fumbler himself? No Mark
No Mark
Sanchez? Oh
Sanchez.
my
No.
gosh.
And so when you ask me about is he done? I don't know if he's done
Mm,
because statistically he's fine. Like now, advanced statistically he's terrible.
right, right.
But when you look up all these names and we're talking about, we're talking about do you remember the Mike White New York
Yeah,
Jets?
that's right.
Do you remember the Trevor Simeon New York
Very
Jets?
vaguely.
I think I think a top 3 New York Jet quarterback of all time is Chad Pennington.
Oh, shit. There you go.
And, you know, like Boomer Esiason, Tim Tebow's on that
Yeah.
list. It's just we're not talking about very good quarterbacks here.
Mhm.
Joe Flacco was a New York
Mhm.
Jet quarterback. Just to put this out there, do you know that Zach Wilson has a better winning percentage as the quarterback of the New York Jets than Aaron Rodgers
I do.
does?
Yeah.
Zach Wilson was a more successful quarterback than Aaron Rodgers was. So should he retire? Probably. Is he going to retire? I don't know. Brett Favre was a New York Jets
It was.
quarterback. I don't remember that. I just remember him as a Viking. Some guy named Dick Wood. That's unfortunate that they named him that. Bryce Petty. Bryce Petty was a New York Jet quarterback. All this to say is Michael Vick. Did the New York Jets draft Geno Smith?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh. Maybe they should have just hung on to him. He's a fucking baller. He just beat the 49ers for the first time in his career last
Yeah, remember
Sunday.
he got his shit rocked in practice, remember that?
Oh, that's
Yep.
right. My brain does this weird thing that has combined Geno Smith and Teddy Bridgewater as the same player for some reason. Like I for some reason don't. But the other issue here is the New York Jets, they're 7th right now. If the draft happened today, they're 7th.
Mm,
And that just is not that's not quarterback territory because Shador and Cam Ward are probably going to be gone by
right.
then. So unless you're going to reach for Jalen from Alabama, which I wouldn't recommend, I don't know. I think they have to bring him back
Yeah.
because what else are you going to do?
If it
You going to go get the pass or not?
Yeah, if it really means anything, there is one league source that is familiar with Adams that says that the wideout agreed to be traded to the Jets on one condition that Rodgers would stick around through 2025. So that was one of the conditions he put through when being traded. Now, how much does that matter when the GM's getting canned and head coach isn't there and you got an interim there? So, not so sure. The Jets' plans for 2025 kind of remain uncertain. Last year, the team extended Rodgers for 3 years valued at $112.5 million, which runs through next season. Rodgers has expressed wanting to play until 2026. Now, if the new regime wants him there, that kind of all depends on them. I think, man, it's so hard to say. I think he probably is there next year. I'm not sure what you're going to do with all of those veterans there at that time. Again, you have Devontae's obviously probably going to stay. If Rodgers staying, Adams is staying, but Alan Lazard is on IR right now currently. Tyron Smith, I believe, only signed a 1 year. Morgan Moses is on a short-term deal as well. Hassan Reddick is gone after this year as well. I'm not sure what you really do with with this team, like where the big issue is, because it's a talented defense, but what's the problem with the offense? Is it coordinator wise? Who wants this job as a head coach? Because obviously you're going to get the big names who are going to get an opportunity. Is Bobby Slowick going to want a job there? Is Ben Johnson going to want a job there? Are they going to go more defensive again? Mike Vrabel, is he going to get a call? Is Bill Belichick going to go to the Jets? Like, what's the plan for the head coach? Who really wants this team? It's not awful. Again, the defense is talented, but you're coming in with an established guy with Rodgers, which there's always some type of uncertainty with the relationship with Rodgers and the coach and how you guys are going to mesh. I'm not sure who really wants that. I know a lot of the head coaches are going to want an opportunity. They're going to want an opportunity with their guys, 100%. And Rodgers isn't going to be his guy.
So somebody will take the
Oh,
job,
for
man.
sure. Yeah.
NFL head coach, you get a 4-year contract, 15 million a year, it's $60 million. So
Yeah. No, I'm there with you. Yeah.
maybe Prime will take it. Michael Irvin
I saw it.
12 minutes
Yeah.
ago. Do you know what the fucking cap cost would be if they cut or traded Dak
Yep.
next year? Like, come on, bro. Like, why is this even why? Like, Shador is not going to be drafted by the Cowboys. That's not happening. First of all, the Cowboys aren't going to pick high enough to get
Yep.
him. Second of all, what are you going to do with the highest paid player in NFL history? You're gonna cut him or you're gonna trade him, and you're gonna take $140 million dead cap hit?
Yep.
Just honestly, somebody should slap Colin Cowherd for even putting that out there. Like, that's just dumb. Like, at some point, you have a like, I get it. We're not media. We're barely even podcasters. But you have when you have a platform like Colin does, you have like I think you have a duty to not put stupid shit out there like this. Like,
Sure.
this is
Yeah.
just dumb.
Yep. You and I have had the conversation where I say some stupid shit, and you're like, "If we were actually putting stuff out there, I would not let you put that out there." We were bigger. Like, we would have screamed that before you said that. Hey, and now that we're not super live right now anymore on YouTube, we can screen some stuff out.
Well, and just to kinda an article just popped up because the Giants just signed a quarterback, and it says, "With the Giants adding a quarterback the day after benching Daniel Jones, are they thinking about keeping him off the practice field in order to prevent an injury?" Kinda like what I just talked about. They're not even gonna let this guy take practice snaps
Yep,
because they do not want him to get
yep.
hurt. If Daniel Jones was smart, he'd probably try to get ran over a couple times on the field to guarantee that injury in his contract because he's seen the he has seen the bulk of his NFL money.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
he might be career backup. If I was the Jets, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I would just go get Carson Wentz. Like, or what are the somebody needs to sign somebody, a really good offensive coordinator, Bobby Slowick, one of those guys needs to go get Jameis in the offseason and try to let him cook.
Yeah.
Because I just now that I think about it, man, there's a lot of you got a Daniel Jones out there. You got a, you're gonna have a I don't want to say Carson Wentz. I don't know if he's there. You're gonna have a Jameis Winston out there. Do you really want to run it back with Aaron? Like, the dude just he can't even move anymore. So I don't know.
Yeah.
That was a long ass rant for
I
that.
mean,
But
honestly, someone's gonna give him an opportunity at the very least. Daniel Jones, talking about him for sure, because if someone's gonna give Mac Jones another shot to be a backup quarterback, then Daniel Jones is definitely gonna get a shot because Mac Jones fucking sucks, as we still continuously see. We can go ahead and move off of the New York 2020 podcast